Did you get some results in 2013, but it wasn't quite what you were hoping to produce? Then you're going to want to watch this week's video, because I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 things that you can do to make 2014 your best year ever. Hi, I'm Desiree Stafford, and today I want to talk to you about what you can do to make 2014 your best year ever. I'm talking about your best year in life and your best year in business. Now, here's what I want to propose to you. If you have not gotten the results that you want last year or this year, and you want things to be different in 2014, they cannot be different unless you do these 3 things. Number 1, you need to decide on what you want. You need to decide that what you have right now is not quite what you're after. It isn't the end result that you had vision in your mind, right? So you want something to be different. You want something to change. Decide that. That's the first step. Step number 2 is commit. You have got to be willing to make some commitments. You cannot straddle the fence, right? You can't simultaneously play not to lose and play to win at the same time. Doesn't work that way. So you've got to commit. You've got to commit to either staying stuck where you are or actually allowing yourself to look at what's possible and then create an action plan to bring what's possible into your present reality. That requires commitment, okay? And then the 4th thing that you need to do, or the 3rd thing that you need to do, is you need to take action. What good is a plan if you're not going to act on it? What good is making the decision, committing to the decision, but then not taking any forward action? It's useless, isn't it? But yet I know that you've done that in 2013. I know that you've made some decisions, you've even made some commitments, and you didn't fulfill them. You didn't take the actions to move forward. Why is that? You know, what was going on for you? Was it that you were afraid that you couldn't achieve the outcome that you'd set for yourself? Were you afraid that you weren't good enough? Were you struggling with internal conflict and external resistance? You know, these are the things that stop so many entrepreneurs, so many people that I speak to on a regular, consistent basis who have this huge vision of affecting change, of impacting the world in a major way, yet they're too afraid to take the next step. So they continue to settle and to play small, and to delude themselves into thinking that everything is okay when it's not, when inside of them, they are erupting because they know that they're not living up to their true potential. And that's a painful place to be in. It's one thing if you don't know that you have a greater potential, but when you do know, and you also know that you're making the choice to stay small, to shrink, that is pain. I know because I come from that place. I come from that place of not allowing myself to believe that the results that I wanted were possible for me. So I know what that feels like, and I'm not coming to you from judgment. However, I need you to start asking yourself some tough questions. I need for you to get really honest about what your life and what your business looks like this year, and how you want that to be different, and what you're willing to do, what you're willing to commit to doing to change that. And then the actions that you intend to take to make it different. Because you have to realize that you are responsible for what you're experiencing right now. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not putting blame, but you are responsible. And as a responsible party here, you have the ability to create something different, but you've got to own what you have first. And then you've got to decide on how you want things to be different. You've got to commit to that decision. And then you've got to take actions that support it, right? So the question for you today is, when will you do this? When will you decide that you're no longer willing to tolerate what you've been settling for? Now, I'm not telling you not to have gratitude for what you've already accomplished. You must have gratitude to get more, but don't rest on your laurels. If the vision that you have is brighter, if the goals, if the outcomes that you want are bigger, then it is your responsibility to go out there and make that your reality. Okay? Because this is not just about you, and it's not just about money, but it's also about the people that you care about, how you're showing up for them. It's also about the people that you serve, how you show up for them. And ultimately, it's about you, how you show up for you. Okay? It's not okay, at least not in my world, for you to let yourself down repeatedly, knowing that you are called to a higher purpose, but that you shrink when met with resistance, whether that be external resistance or internal conflict. Whether you're feeling unworthy and at the same time knowing that you're called to do something bigger. Whether you go out and you take massive action, but the marketplace isn't embracing you the way that you expect, so you underestimate how much it's going to require of you to really be the person that you need to be in order to be more successful. And so you give up, or you settle for good enough. I'm asking you to make the decision today to draw the line in the sand, to say, I'm no longer willing to settle for this. Because when you settle, you're no longer in a position to model for others what's possible, because you have stopped growing. You have stopped stepping up into your calling, your real power, so that you could play it safe, so that you could straddle the fence, so that you never have to face yourself. Look, I know the stink of failure. I've had several businesses and I met with some failure and some external and internal resistance. I know what that place feels like. So it's not as if I'm asking you to step out on faith and take risks without understanding what you're putting at stake. But at the same time, I also understand that you cannot get to where you're going if you're not willing to put some things on the line. If you continue to straddle and keep yourself firmly planted here and now, and not allow yourself to be expansive enough to see what's possible and to reach for it and to actually take the steps to move towards it, then you'll never get there. Because what you're doing is making a choice to stay stuck. So if you feel riled up, if you feel inspired, if you feel motivated to make a change for yourself, for the people that you care about, for the people that you serve, then I invite you to join me on a complimentary teleseminar that I have coming up, where I'm going to teach you some of the principles of really making 2014 your best year ever. This is your best year in business, your best year in life, your best year with relationships, your best year in terms of making more money and having the freedom that you really want to create. This is your opportunity to say, enough is enough. I'm no longer willing to tolerate playing small, feeling like everything is out of my control, and owning who you are, where you're going, and knowing that you're going to take the action to move toward that. Now is the time to make that commitment to yourself. So if you're ready to do that, then I invite you to join me for this complimentary teleseminar. You will see the link at the bottom of this screen. And I only want you showing up if you are committed to yourself, if you are committed to taking actions, because this is the first of many actions that you'll need to take. But if you'd rather stay where you are, if you'd rather invest in staying stuck and playing small for another year, you're more than welcome to do that. On the other hand, if you're ready to say, I control this, I have power, I will transform my life and my business in 2014, then I want your energy, I want your being on that call. I want you with me, okay? And until we speak again, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.